Fleabag.
Yeah, my wife is obsessed with them.
I love Fleabag.
The shirt too, actually.
It's a Fleabag
Also
shirt?
Fleabag.
Okay, we're ready to go live in 5.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Tonya June Moore. This is the Sedona International Film Festival 2023. Special thanks to our sponsors, Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. Yeah, and Karen Dunlap Realty out there. Thank you for sponsoring and always being super supportive of this International Film Festival here. And once again, I am in the seat with an amazing filmmaker who's on topic on so many points of what we love here in Sedona. Please introduce yourself and your film.
Hi there, my name is Jeffery Lando, and I'm the director and, well, the filmmaker behind Lissa's Trip.
And Lissa's Trip is exactly that. It is very much what we, as I think globally, are stepping into learning more about psychedelics.
Sure.
Michael Pollan just had an incredible series on Netflix all about how it heals.
Yeah.
And how they're using them in places like Northern Europe in hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not far from that, but there's so much more that is in this. It's funny, it has AI, created technology. So let's watch the trailer and get everybody caught up.
This is the tale of Lissa, a talented thespian.
Hello?
Lissa has been given the opportunity of a lifetime.
Hawk gal.
Her own superhero franchise.
This is what we've been working towards.
I'm excited, I promise.
If only she can get to her screen test on time.
This is LSD, this is like straight up grade A, like crazy, like colors and...
You've been working way too hard to blow this. You're gonna walk in there.
You cannot go out. Are you out of your mind? I don't have a choice.
Great, can you help me get a lift because my phone's not working and I don't know if I've completely lost the plot or if it's
I
not
don't
coming.
judge. I put the antenna up, the ideas come, I execute.
It's going to be a hell of a trip. A real odyssey.
One breath at a time.
Apologies to Homer.
So without giving too much away, what
Sure.
I find is very exciting is that none of this was scripted.
Yeah, it was an experiment in a different kind of filmmaking. I've done a lot of movies as a director, and I'm used to kind of more traditional hierarchical and forms of filmmaking. Like that's how it is. You have a crew. There's someone at the top who's great ideas. Somehow supposed to be, and through the exploitation of labor, we're supposed to execute and change reality to like make the great man. It's almost always a man at the top. Their vision come true, and it occurred to me that there might be something wrong with that. Mm-hmm. And I was interested in maybe all the new technologies that have hit the film industry, and like the kind of stuff we're shooting with right now, might enable other modes of creation.
Yes.
And I was really interested to see what might be possible in that vein.
How many hours of footage, though, did you have to go through to create the storyline?
It wasn't really like that because nothing got shot without everyone's alignment. So it's not like we're just shooting random stuff and like seeing after the fact what works. It's more like I would come in with an idea and say, hey, how about we do this? And Sophia, who's amazing, is our lead actress, Sophia Vasileva.
She is wonderful.
She would, was had very high standards in terms like it had all to connect with theme and character and plot. They all have to be enmeshed together perfectly. So any single decision, anything she did, I either had to convince her or she would convince me about what would happen. And so, no, it was like everything we did is in the movie. There's nothing, of course there's multiple takes, but it wasn't like there were scenes that were thrown away.
Because they didn't work?
No, and we really had actually a much stronger, despite the unscripted and the improvisational approach and me kind of abandoning, like surrendering to the process, despite that, I think it has a really cohesive narrative drive, actually.
It does.
And is cohesive thematically in a way, like more so than any movie I've made before.
Well, and first of all, you had said off camera that this is kind of her story, really, of breaking out of being a child star.
Sure.
And also,
but I just want to show it's my story too.
Yeah.
It's also mine.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that I discovered at the end of it, is it's actually like a more profoundly personal film for me than almost anything I've done. Despite me giving up control,
Yes.
I ended up with getting something back.
Well, there's a lot of healing in this film, and that's why I wanted to kind of point out that we're starting to see people using
Yeah.
natural methods to heal, and she comes full circle and realizes, oh, I love that scene in the car with the guy who's telling her
Howard Nemitz, yeah.
yes, how they connected over her show, and she starts to realize how impactful her life has been.
Yeah.
Is that something you went through too?
Well, okay, so there's a really important film for me in my kind of growth as a filmmaker called Sullivan's Travels, which is a famous film from, I guess, 1932 or something like that. And that's sort of the message of the movie, which is that, you know, where the filmmaker wants to go out and make a great film, sort of The Grapes of Wrath, like a film about the Depression, about the real people and what the real struggles. But then everyone goes, well, what do you know about that? You're a millionaire playboy Hollywood director, right? And so, and what he discovers through the process of it is that actually film is not, you don't need to tell people what their human condition is. People know that. And maybe the role of the storyteller is instead to provide people an escape, like a moment of, to get out of that, like comedy, like lightness. You know, things are so dark. You don't need me telling you, oh, things are dark. They're really, really dark. Like, you know that, right? And so,
You know, you did a brilliant job of not making this a trope.
Right.
It's a real film. It's a real story. It has a lot of comical moments in it.
Thank you.
And there's some beautiful connection in it. Has it screened here yet? At
Not
the
yet.
festival?
Today's our first screening at 4 p.m. So.
I am excited to see what our audiences get
Me
from
too.
this, because I think that you're going to get from the Sedona Film Festival audience a whole different set of questions than you would get anywhere else. So
That's certainly true. I've discovered that because we premiered in Warsaw, right, in Poland, which was really fascinating to me. And they had a relation to Hollywood, like Hollywood was sort of to them, which I didn't realize is sort of this, you know, really powerful force that represents the West, right? And they were under the grips of communist Russia for, you know, 30 years between 1945 and the, you know, late 80s, when they finally were able to rejoin the West. And so Hollywood was like represents this intense mythical value for them, and to see a movie about Hollywood in this way that isn't like a, you know, that's different, had incredible resonance over there. So I'm very curious to see how these conversations of transformation and psychedelics, you know,
and the use of AI,
here.
which we haven't even talked. There's so many other themes in this that we could talk about.
Yeah.
Where are you going next? Is there a website that they can keep up with?
Yeah,
the
so follow us at lissastrip.com, and then also we're on Instagram at Lissa's Trip, and on Facebook at Lissa's Trip, and on Twitter there's a character Priggish Pete, Parakeet. He's a character from the movie.
Yes.
We're on Twitter, so yeah, follow us there. And our next festival is in Burbank, actually, right near where the climax of the movie happens.
Yes,
literally like right next door. We're playing a theater there in March 17th. So
wonderful. Well,
yeah.
Everybody stay tuned. You're going to want to keep up with this one. It's a lot of fun. You're going to recognize the actors from multiple things. And just knowing that it was unscripted, I think will keep our audience definitely enthralled. So thank you once again, Sedona International Film Festival. Our hashtags this year are SIF23, Sedona Film Fest 23. And stay tuned. I'm going to have another great director in the seat right after this.